just
yeah.
like literally like me just muttering to myself like a madman,
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
trying to put it together. And
I
the amount of
imagine
time,
that's just you. No, you'd never actually stop and like go to sleep. It's just always like a low power muttering state. There's welcome back, everyone, to what the hell was that?
there's a little like gun noise ad lib, like
So that sounded like you joked on your drink.
no.
I was like, this man is dying in the first 5 seconds. What is going on? So,
No, Diaz isn't getting rid of me that way.
not yet. So yeah, episode 3 of Pro and Noob. We are covering 2 today. 2 and
Wasn't this
3.
well? This is episode 2, covering episodes 2
Well,
and
technically, it's
3.
episode 3. It's number
Yeah,
2. It's technically
as
the
there's an
third.
episode 0. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did this to yourself by having an episode
I know.
0.
I
So
know.
have fun counting.
This is my problem as I wave my webcam's lens cap at the screen like a knob man. I think something's a really good idea, and then I just trip myself over it.
It was a good idea. We're just gonna have to joke every episode about
Yeah.
actually counting these.
Because here's the thing, I was gonna do it by the episode number that we're on. I was at episode 1, Angel Attack. Episode 2, Unfamiliar Ceiling. Mister, we're gonna watch 2 through that.
You
Spatula.
offered. You
I
offered. Do
didn't
you want to do
offer.
2 this
I
week?
didn't offer. I asked you a question of, are you watching 2? Because you said about doing batches, and I was like, were you doing 2 or 1? That's how I phrased it.
You said,
That's how I meant to
are
phrase
you
it.
doing 2 or 1? And I was like, oh, well, if it's on the table, I'll knock out 2 at once.
See, yes. One of us needs subtitles. Probably me. Because Americans can't understand the British.
Okay.
Because we all sound like that in America.
I mean, listen, in the Comic Book Cast Facebook group, I think I might have made the funniest Mitch's British joke I've ever made in my life.
Which one?
With like the whatever out of context quote of you saying like,
the monkey one.
Yeah, you were like, I don't get down with monkeys.
Yeah.
I don't do monkeys. To which I replied phonetically,
it's not phonetic though, was it?
How did I phrase it?
It was memetically. That's what it was.
Okay,
because no one talks like that. Maybe up north, maybe Yorkshire.
Yeah, everyone Mitch, else. I don't do monkeys. To which I replied, "Oi, I don't do monkeys, right? Is a little ooh ooh ah ah in it." I killed myself reading it. Is a little ooh ooh ah ah in it? God tier of making fun of British people. Because like I've just accepted that my impression of you is just to do a bad grade A under A impression.
That's literally everyone in America. But you know what? Yeah, America's got too big for their britches when Biden won the election. They're like, no more Trump. We're going for the British. And I'm not gonna lie. I hope Trump wins. Just
someone clip that. Just to Paco, clip that. Paco, clip that. Paco, clip that. Thank you, buddy.
It's fun. I'll just cut it out of the stream. Be like, I hope. Dunk. There you go. But yeah, episode 2, Neon Genesis. Unfamiliar Ceilings.
So, I have, as I promised, was being very discerning with what was in the title sequence.
Ah, yes.
There's a lot. I caught. So I wrote it down and I took a picture of the screen so I remember to go back to it. Latin phrases about divinity. So again, I'm getting more and more like I'm trying to figure out what the Christian metaphor here is supposed to be, and seeing like more than Christian. Well, so far all I've seen is an alien on a crucifix, lots of crosses.
Is it an alien?
All right, well, an angel. I think it is, and we'll get to that. But
Also,
the
the angel's called Zachiel, which is Hebrew. That's not Christian.
Old Testament though, so I mean, yeah, a little bit of
Mm,
a little amuse bouche of the Abrahamic religions.
mm,
But Sistema ex Divino, I was like, okay, this is screaming Catholic.
mm. Told you it's not just Christian.
Okay, that's a flavor of that's the cherry coke of Christianity. Okay,
Not Coke.
um, but okay, so that was like the first thing where I really, really like again, and I'm not. This is something that I'm not going to try to pry out of you,
Yeah.
but like, okay, so I guess this is a good time to ask before I like get way too caught up in like trying to find metaphor.
Mm.
What is there like religious metaphor like with and I don't even say I've been saying Christian a lot, but a lot of that is because like the trailer perked my ears up watching an
Yeah.
angel
Yeah.
like an angel or something that I think is an angel get crucified. Um is there a there, or am I just like or
Well,
did I
define
like
there
latch on
there.
to something? Is there like a greater religious allegory here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm,
Cuz
mm.
I'm slowly feeling like I'm going crazy. Like I can feel like ionized bastards levels of like diluted like rabbit hole falling
Yeah.
creeping up on me with how like eagle-eyed I'm trying to be to find like metaphor here. Um but yeah, and
Don't
I
mind me.
don't
My headset's dying, so I'm changing wire.
no, you're
Well, I'm
good, you're
putting this back.
good. But yeah, so like I was considering trying to look up a translation of the Latin uh in the title sequence. Um I will defer to you to figure out if there's anything here that will fuck me. Cuz on one hand like I've seen this 3 times now,
Yeah.
but on the other I am afraid to go looking for a translation and find a spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Is what like that's where I'm at. And I like
Yeah.
there are so
Yeah.
many things that I want to research about what I'm seeing, but I am being like hyper vigilant to not stumble into spoilers.
Mm. I would personally not, because it might bring up a plot beat that might happen at some point.
Okay. Well, I am going to, and for the next episode of this show, you will be on the hook to provide me with a translation of the Latin.
What's the Latin again?
It's like this whole chart. I'm trying to like hold my phone up closer to the thing so that anybody at home
Yeah,
can see that's
it's
not
just
working.
the right
Um,
now.
yeah, but it's like the Sistema ex Divino, Sepharoctum, Rhythm,
Oh, that
non
yeah,
them.
don't look at that. I know exactly what you're looking at. Is it all like at angles, written out in angles?
Yeah, like it's a series of circles kind of like interconnected
Yeah,
with like these
you
bars. And like
I
and
promise
again,
you,
like
do not
like
look at anything.
it forms the sign of the cross,
Yeah,
you
do
know.
not look at anything. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so don't
Yeah,
look into this any
no,
further
no,
than there's a
no.
sign of the cross.
It will blow the show wide open.
Okay.
Mhm,
Okay. Cool.
mhm,
That is the kind of closure I was looking
mhm.
for on this
Yeah, yeah,
specific topic.
yeah.
Um Excellent. So, last week I feel like I made a fool of myself for not make so on one hand, I felt more justified for my interpretation of why the Ava like acted of its own accord.
Yeah, yeah.
That they called
That's fair,
attention
that's
to Shinji like being able to bond with it as quickly as he did. So they make a note
fair.
of that. So I felt like I was less stupid for not understanding that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is like a living being.
Well,
Um
define living.
well, it fucking bleeds and it clearly has
Does
feelings.
Does
Um,
it have feelings?
I frankly hope not. Um, but
What if it did? I'm not saying it does or it doesn't. I'm just saying, what if it did?
if it does, I am
Would
so
that make
curious as to why we did not simply build robots. I am fully
Mm.
like with the military technology at the disposal of the UN right now, like there is like it's not like space age technology. It's like God, this is going to be the most American I've ever sounded in my life. But like but like it is it's a good like metric to use.
Yeah.
It's like Black Ops 2 technology, where it's like
Oh, that's what you
clearly
use. I don't play COD, but yeah, carry on.
okay, but like, but it is that like, okay, here is like militaristic technology that is a hop, skip, and a jump away from what we have,
Yeah, it's
but
not
it's
too
also
far
not,
out of the realm of possibility.
but it's also not Star Trek.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like no one's going to warp speed, but like here's like like an autonomous drone that is like the size of like a gunship that is like capable of aiming, targeting, and firing on its own for the most part,
yeah.
like or with like remote control. So like in like so that's what I mean. So like the technology I'd say is like a half a step beyond like that example,
Mm,
right? So if these if the Avas are truly beings who feel, who think, who are aware, that is so fucking vulgar and awful when you could
yeah.
simply
It
build a
would be good. Yeah,
robot.
yeah.
Which further makes me believe again that there is some connection between the origins of the angels and the origins of the Avas. That one is probably a byproduct of the other. Um, and I even have here, just reading directly, the Ava bleeding was really was discomforting, as was the way its arm broke. That was
Yeah,
visceral. That
yeah.
was so visceral, and again, and it was in the way that that happened. Um, would have started to like make me realize that there is something more going on with the status of um life with the Avas, that metal that like if this was just a being made of steel, that
Mm.
like that it doesn't break that way, like it's so it
Yeah,
would be
if
so
it's
much
like a
more
Gundam,
brittle.
it's a crush and a rip, right? It's not
It's
a
a yeah,
it's
it's a
twist
crush
and
and
a
like a
snap.
exactly, like
Mm,
it's a crush and then it snaps off,
mm.
not like a king and we gotta kind of like ring it around to like cave it in on itself. Like so that would have been so if you had not pulled the band-aid off last week, I feel very confident that I would have started to be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, but I said that last week, and I sat the entire time going, "Why did I say that? Like, why did you open your?" I completely forgot the next episode is this entire fight. I was like,
So
"You absolute prick!"
but no, I think it is.
But
I think it is a piece of context that was good for me to have,
that's good.
because
That's fine. Yeah.
because it made my antennas perk up, you know, and like if there is, I think that while the objective here is send me in as cold as possible,
Yeah.
I think there may also be things that like by virtue of trope and cultural osmosis that I'm going to take as a given and miss, such as these are straight up robots, mechs piloted by
Mm.
people, that like the only type of intelligent life involved in the Avas would like potentially be a computer brain, would
Yeah.
potentially be an like a Jarvis, you know, or something like that, and not a being that lives within the Ava, or that the Ava is a living being that is. Um, so yeah, I really loved uh the smash cut of Shinji kind of waking up. Um,
Yeah.
because
The unfamiliar
I
feeling. What's the
it's
text?
it's oh, and that was such a good title. That was
Mm.
fucking
This
bars.
show has really good episode titles. I have
I
a
was
particular favorite, but it's got a really good episode titles in it.
Well, be sure to tell me when we get to it because
Mm.
I'm excited. Because unfamiliar ceilings, I was like, oh man,
It
that's
goes
very
hard.
evocative. That's very heavy. Um, so comment for me and then question.
Shoot, shoot.
So I love the framing because
Mm.
it does a very interesting thing where I again, maybe this is just the way I interpreted it, that the episode very much wants to present it as the fight ended there, like
Yeah.
where Shinji blacks out,
Mm.
you know, the Avas, having like a the boys level blood splatter,
Mm.
um, freaking out, dying, whatever, and that Shinji wakes up after a failed mission, and then they're just kind of like nickel and diming when you beat that angel, when that angel was defeated, what you did,
Mm.
da da da, and you're starting to go, what happened? And then and eventually we get the full context that he
Did
freaked
absolutely nothing.
that he freaked the fuck out, kind
Yeah.
of, and killed the angel, um in an explosion that formed across. uh so my question is, they make a comment about it scrambling Shinji's brain.
Mm.
So at first I thought, and maybe this is the intent, is Shinji did Shinji black out and has no recollection of what he did to the angel? Because that does not, because what I didn't understand is if we were getting the memory back of what happened
Mm.
alongside Shinji, or by his brain was scrambled, we see his erratic and frankly violent behavior
Mm.
in the next episode, and it's like, oh, like it fucked him up. Is it the second one? Like does he know what we don't know throughout the episode, is like how that fight played out?
I'm pretty certain he doesn't remember. It is a
Okay.
blackout.
So
Pretty
he
certain.
does. So like he knows he killed the angel.
Yeah, he know that he won that fight, but won.
He doesn't remember how
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just okay, brutal it got by the end.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That clears some things up for me. Um so what is the UN and what's the specific
Nerve.
organization called again? Nerve.
Nerve.
So what is Nerve's because it kind of mentioned that they're trying to cover up what happened. What are they covering up? Because that
Well, you
because on
find
one
that.
hand,
Maybe you find that out.
okay,
Maybe that's
well,
something I physically cannot answer.
okay, well, no, I was just confused because it seemed like they wanted to cover up the angel attack and like how vicious things got, but obviously in the next episode, the one kid is like clearly fucked off by Shinji, and the fact that like
Toji.
his little, huh?
Toji.
Toji's clearly fucked off by Shinji, and the fact that like his sister was caught in the crossfire and was gravely injured. Um, so I was like, okay, so it's not like they're hiding the nature of this fight from the public,
No,
you know.
no. Well,
So
you kind
like,
of can't, right? Because they live in a
yeah,
city
that's
that
what
goes up
threw
and
me
down.
for a loop, and
Yeah.
this was also the confirmation for me that Geofront is occupied basically only by Nerve. Um,
Um,
that like that like it seems like
do you
New
mean the
Tokyo,
underground bit or the top?
the underground bit.
Yeah, see, the underground bit is just nerve. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because like it looked way too expansive to be just a Nerve base of operations,
Yeah.
but like we clearly see that there are people still living in the Overcity, um, who are um subjected to the chaos here. Um,
Yeah, because you get a nice shot of everything coming down, but it's all the big flashy skyscrapers. But at the very bottom of the screens, at the old typical Japanese houses, it's just like, oh, rich and poor.
Yeah, which is another thing I'm keeping my eye on. Um, the Human Instrument Program. I'm assuming this is so. There are so many like ideas that like commingle with each other
Mm.
that I'm like, is the human so like the Human Instrument Program? I'm assuming has to do with the Avas,
You can assume that, yeah.
and that but I can't quite put my finger on. Are we referring to the Avas and they are the human instruments because again they are living beings, or are we referring to the pilots within them
Mm.
or the Human Instrument
I mean,
Program?
either ones are pretty.
It's heavy. I mean, it's heavy shit regardless, like the instrument element of this name um has me leaning towards pilots
Mm.
because it's like a direct call out to a human being in the suit in the armor. Um so that was a something that made my ears perk up. Um Who what's her name again? Who Shinji's living with now?
Misato.
Misato. I simply have here homegirl needs rehab. Uh
Yes, very, very well spotted.
um
Very well spotted. Yes, yes,
my god.
yes.
Which was immediately followed by fucking hell it's horny. Um it's like I know
It's the fan service, right? You get it. Yes. You've either got to look past it or get drowned in it. Really,
it's one of
that's
those things. I truly do think it's one of the things that like did give me pause when getting into anime is that it's just
mm.
so
It can get really heavy.
it can get gratuitous to a point, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and I granted like I'm not one of like the Gen Z like unnecessary sex scenes in movies. I think that's silly and prudish.
yeah,
I do think a lot of anime like it does bring the story to a screeching halt to stare at somebody's boobs.
yeah. Well,
That I like get that I roll my eyes at. Um that I was like, okay guys, come on.
you get numb to it. Not that it's necessarily you should. I don't think people should if they don't want to, but once you watch it for like 20 years, it's just white noise on the screen. It's like, you know
And
what?
I yeah,
Okay.
and I understand that. I understand
Also, sometimes it
cultural
plays a part.
differences,
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it plays
sometimes
a
it
part.
does.
Sometimes it's got a commentary on it. Like it can
Yeah,
have its place. Like,
like the little purple guy from My Hero. Like
yeah, yeah,
the point is to laugh at him and call him a creep.
yeah,
Like it
yeah.
exists. It exists in a similar like the whole thing with Always Sunny. Like Always Sunny is not funny
Mm,
because they're saying and doing bigoted shit. It's funny because they're terrible people that horrible things
yeah,
happen to
yeah,
all the time because they are too stupid to realize that all the horrible shit they do is the reason why their life is constantly in shambles.
yeah.
Um, that it's that weird duality, and we can have a conversation about satire and execution. Um, I love Pen Pen. I want to be his friend.
Everyone loves Pen Pen. He's the goat.
I want to be
He's
Pen
the
Pen's friend.
penguin, but he's good old Pen Pen.
Cute little
Imagine living
guy.
rent free in a freezer. That's just
Oh, I'd love to.
heaven.
I'd love to, dude. My whole family, we have a cold house, and that's on purpose. Like my dad, when I lived with my family, they would constantly joke about, can we turn it up to a balmy 60 degrees in here?
Mm.
Because my mom
Oh,
and I are
Fahrenheit. Oh no.
we are
What's
fucking
60?
polar bears over here. Um, but no, I did laugh at what I referred to as the sneaky peen can.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
there was a
You think the
second
beer's
that
can's enough, but there's a tiny can behind it.
that was really funny to me. That got a rare character is naked in an anime joke out or laugh out of me. Um, just because smaller can behind the can was a fun little bit. Um, I
See,
don't
show's
I
already won.
I I don't remember the context for this, but I simply said all this cross shit, man.
There's a lot of crosses, yeah, yeah.
And I don't know what the next cross was that I noticed. I don't remember. Um
Um, is this still for the second episode of the third one? The
uh
second, isn't it?
no, this is still the second episode because I have something that calls out something in the credits. So I can tell when the episode ends.
Oh, cool.
Um
I assume it's when it explodes. Because you see
yes.
that in the second one, right? And he goes, "Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I can't because I know there's the cross earlier and then there is the cross when he blows up the angel. So
Mm.
whichever one is all this cross shit man and then cross in all caps. Um and
Yeah, there's a
again
lot of crosses. A lot of
getting
crosses.
back to me finally figuring out what's happening, with the Avas and their um dubious personhood. Pardon me, hiccups. The regeneration viscerally grossed me the fuck out.
What of the arm?
Well, seeing the arm, but I think there's also a moment, it might be in the third episode, where the head kind of reconstructs itself. That freaked me out. Either both of them just made me go, ugh, and made me
Was it
squirm a
the
little bit.
eye by chance?
Yes, it was the
Yeah,
eye.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Um,
It's
so yeah,
one of the best bits of animation you'll ever see. Because that's
it's
smooth.
it's beautiful and
It's disgusting.
unfucking
Don't get me
nerving. It
wrong.
is
It's very disgusting.
unnerving. Now, the thing I called
Nerve.
attention to, the thing I called attention to in the credits is Adam, as in the biblical Adam. Uh,
Is it the biblical Adam or just a guy called Adam?
well, let me pull that up again so I can see it. Evangelion
Oh, don't.
credits. I'm just typing in
Oh,
credits.
credits.
End credits.
Fly me to the moon.
That's so funny.
I'm so
I
sad
forgot.
Netflix didn't actually fork. Netflix has all this money, or they say they have all this money, and yet they can't afford Fly Me to the Moon and a cover of Fly Me to the Moon. Like, come on now, give Gynax the bag.
Damn it! It's not showing me the actual credits. It's just the song, which sounds great, but
Dahukoku. I can't remember the words.
okay, it's just trying to show me the song. I remember seeing something about Adam, so I said Adam is in the credits, likely the first angel or Ava. Because again, I'm trying to figure out what the connections here are.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, if we're referencing Adam with all this biblical shit,
unless it just a guy's called Adam. But,
unless a guy's just called Adam, but most of these names have had like a Japanese like
mm.
you know not again not to present as though I haven't
They're Japanese
profound.
names.
Yeah, but they're Japanese names. Like
Yeah.
they are all clearly Japanese sounding names. So like yeah, maybe
But
there's
who's
a
to say
fun.
there's not an American in this show or
Yeah,
an
who's to say
English
there's
guy?
just a fucking guy named Adam? Sure, but just like the way it came up, made me go, huh. Um, and I don't have our Netflix login stuff on this computer, and I don't want to go bother my girlfriend to get it. Um,
This is
but
why you save
yeah,
everything to Google passwords.
I know, but I don't use Netflix on my computer.
It's fair.
I don't like sitting here to watch things. I go in
No,
there and then I come in here to talk about it.
have a TV for that one.
Exactly.
Mm.
But yeah, I did see something about Adam, and I was like,
Mm.
this feels biblical, especially given the name of the show. I was like, and again, you could try to throw me off the scent, Mitchell. but in a show with the word
Don't use my full
Genesis in
Christian
it.
name. That's,
Uh,
get it.
but in a show called with Genesis in the name that has all of this Christian iconography, just seeing something flash on the screen that says Adam, I'm like, no. Or actually, that might have been the beginning of the third episode. Now that I think about it,
I
I
mean, it's in every intro, so it's always going to be
okay. So I was right. So I was right about the delineation. I thought it was the end credits, and I threw myself off.
there. The end credits is just that silhouette walking along the moon, or along somewhere with the moon reflecting.
Yeah, that's what threw me
What you're
off.
looking for is the intro.
Yeah.
Got itchy nose. God damn. It's the heat. Any
All right.
more notes?
Hold on. I'm killing the music, and then I'm gonna throw what I'm talking about on screen for the intro.
I gotta edit it again.
Oh, do you not want me to?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's making me get better at editing. It's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm a pain in the ass.
We're learning and teaching of each other.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even though StreamYard does not do this in a usual size
No, it does not.
user
Which is,
resolution, and it annoys the hell out of me.
but yeah. So I'm trying to see where I saw it.
Ooh, HD 60 FPS.
Because I did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing when I finally saw the name Adam creep across the screen.
Good.
I'm gonna start going to Bible studies to prepare for this show. So this is what I was talking about
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
very
Don't.
beginning with like
Yeah.
signs of the cross and all the Latin on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
fine. Don't
that
worry about
was
it. Don't worry about
okay.
it.
Okay,
Totally fine.
if it's explained later, then I'll be fine. I'm just very much trying to figure out what we're going for here with the metaphor. Um,
The plug.
the plug, and that's what's on your back. I'm waiting for the thing. Because I'm pretty sure it's in like the rapid fire text that test type Ava. Okay. Oh wait, Angels, Tokyo 3, the Nerve logo. Shit. Hold on 1 second. Let me full screen that again. God, I'm gonna. Whoa. Don't laugh. I know you saw it as I saw it. Run away from me, fucker. I'm sure I made a funny face when I realized I missed it. Fuck you.
You're lucky. My pop filter's in front of the. If I lean at a certain point, I can't see your face. I'm just watching the trailer. This gives away. And that's it. Doesn't give away a lot. It just brings up so much.
Yeah, that I have like wildly no fucking context for. Okay, it's coming up
Yeah.
right now. I'm slowing this bitch down.
How slow can you go? And maybe one of those people are Adam. Who knows? Maybe he's Adam. He's trying to
Going in
find.
the right direction. I saw it fly by my eyes. I was like, whoa.
You sure it just wasn't angels?
No, I know what I saw, bitch.
Let me gaslight you this once.
Okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was. Maybe I only saw it. Okay, maybe it isn't in here, but it was on the subtitles, and I just obviously can't read that.
If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in here.
I'm just intent on proving that I'm not crazy. Explosions, flips, glasses guy, crying child, boobies,
Oops.
second impact. Okay. Hold on. Ah, okay, it was just Adam. Okay, I'm not fucking crazy.
Of course you're not. Who said you
That
were?
just the voices.
Which one?
Yes, but
Was it Adam by chance?
maybe okay. So like there is so like that has to be a biblical Adam because the only things flashing on the screen are things that like the text, all of those things. Like it's stuff that is relevant to the story. I don't think there's just a guy named Adam we haven't seen yet that is getting a whole like vague title card.
But
We
maybe
cannot be
Adam's
getting.
important.
I'm sure he is. I'm
Doesn't
sure
have
all
to
of the
be the
characters
biblical Adam.
are.
It's just Adam plays a part.
Mitch, if it's not the biblical Adam, you you win something from me. I don't know what, but this
Hmm.
can all be chalked up to when Jared gets too invested in something, he becomes deeply paranoid about it.
Oh, good.
Um,
We're gonna
just
have
like I
fun
said,
with this show.
this is ionized bastards level, baby.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this show.
Everybody is salvage.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh god, this is dangerous. Letting me watch this whole title sequence slow
It is, so
down.
stop it. It is, so stop it.
I know. I'm gonna get way too obsessed with it. I have no context for any of it. You know, it's not
No.
like I could. You know, it's I'm not even gonna let myself look up how to read any of it. So all I can do is speculate. You know, any things that are either in Japanese or fucking Latin at the same time. Like, you know, fuck me. But
To be fair, if you
yeah,
Google Sephiroth, you're only gonna get one thing. Let's be honest here.
yeah, I knew that. I was like, well, there goes my chances of googling this, even if I wanted to.
Bells, frogs, big cherries, peanut pie, magic cheese.
No idea what you just said.
That was the
Um,
Sephiroth misheard intro or lyrics. No.
I've never played Final Fantasy.
You
Um,
must have heard One Wing Angel, surely.
I may have heard it, but I don't know that meme.
Jared. Jared. Well, the entire thing's in Latin, right? And it sounds like bells, frogs, big cherries, Peter Pan,
Oh,
magic cheese,
I
Sephiroth.
know. Well, that's like the Duel of the Fates
Mhm.
one. That like when my
Yeah.
whole when my high school choir went to do it, I like sent the video to my our choir director because
Mm.
there's just like Duel of the Fates, but all the lyrics are wrong, and it's like corn on the cob, cyborg Jesus, not. It's like cyborg Jesus, not the principal. Like it's so fucking funny
Nice.
because it's in Sanskrit, and
Mm.
has and the Sanskrit text has nothing to do with the fight, which is one of my favorite things of all time with how silly that is. But into episode 3, my first note is my man is a secret child is a secret child is in a secret child army of living machines and he's still going to school. Which I understand that like
He's like 14 years old. Boys got.
every I know that every single kid in anime has to go to school.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Yeah.
I
Can't be delinquent now, God forbid.
I think it's deeply funny that some shows are like we will build a special school around our
Yeah.
premise.
Yeah.
And that some shows are like, hey, you have this wild shit going on in your personal life. We need that algebra 2 paper in by
Yeah.
noon.
There's some
Like,
practice in the classroom.
yeah, I was like,
Or maybe
okay.
the classroom's where the info dump is for a lot of stuff. Who knows?
Which brings us to our next note.
Oh, 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 oh. What is said note?
The second impact that
Hmm.
causes a climate crisis, a climate catastrophe
Hmm.
that resets everything happening in the world.
Yep.
So the
Yep.
angel threat. So the first time the world had to deal with the angels, it was in the immediate aftermath of this asteroid strike. Did they? Because I know, because like the class is like talking over the teacher, and for whatever reason, the teacher does not get subtitles during the scene.
Which, by the way, I fucking love. I love
So
that. That's how they chose to deliver the backstory, the context of everything. It's not inherently important that you know it, and it's not the focus of the scene, but it's
it
still there in the
it
background.
certainly was to me.
Well, it should be, and I'm glad you picked up on it. We've had character development from not picking up on the name of the Ava, the full Christian name of the Ava from the first episode.
What's the full Christian name of the Ava again?
I can't remember, but it's got prototype human artificial. We went over it last week.
We did okay.
Mm. That's
No,
when I
but
told you that they're flashbacks.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, HK-47.
What is that from?
And that's the Old Republic. That's Revan's
Of
assassin
course it
droid.
is. Yeah, yeah. I haven't played that game in years.
Oh,
My
fun
brain
fact.
went Star Wars reference and then just lag.
Fun fact about Jared: I've never actually played all of Knights in the Old Republic. I
I
almost
was to
said my
say
Star
another.
Wars show.
Okay.
I am a
I was
fraud.
aware that
I
was a podcast,
I
not a game.
kind of name my podcast after a game I've never actually played.
No.
Um, uh,
I'm saying.
but no, I mean I know the whole story and I do love it, and I love Revan as a
Hmm.
character.
Getting a
But
hot toy.
yeah, yeah, along with my boy. But the Nerd Academy Unleashed podcast wasn't going to work. So,
I mean, it could.
well,
If you bleeped out and edited all the swearing, you could have had
we
Unleashed
have
as the channel membership unedited version. It's
that'll
literally
become the new Patreon show where I only do discourse segments there, and it's
yes.
just
Do
me
it.
screaming at the fucking
Do it.
camera because of all of these hack frauds. Um, but okay, so the second impact. So asteroid hits the Earth, if it even
Yep.
did, because I'm in full paranoia mode.
I was gonna say it's school education. Who's to trust it?
Yeah, yeah. So this could very well be propaganda,
Yeah.
but just going with what the official story is. We're going to take that at face value here for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Asteroid hits
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica, done.
Big kablooey. Yeah.
Millions of people dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Climate crisis, all of
Mm-hmm.
all climate catastrophe, all of those things happen.
Yep.
Did the angels, again taking the story at face value, did they emerge from the climate catastrophe, or were they like an invasive species that came along with the asteroid?
Right. Well, since you insist on asking me questions that I cannot answer, which one would you prefer?
From the official story, I feel like it's easier. But let me say this: I'm glad you answered that question that way,
So I'm going
because
to answer every question going forward now to keep myself safe.
well, what keeps yourself safe? It keeps yourself sane. My thing is like my biggest hang up, because I want to understand what's going on so badly. Like
Mm.
I want to just, especially
You,
because
you,
as we said in episode 0, I am used to consuming anime in a night.
yeah,
I am used to watching a season of television inside of one night with my friends. That it's like 4 boxes from Pizza Hut and a whole lot of like Cherry Coke Zero getting us to like when the sun is coming up, and I'm weeping over Lemillion. Like I am you like that is how I'm used to consuming anime.
So have you never watched? This is going to show my age, and if anyone's old enough, you'll know the understanding or the feel. Have you ever watched an anime on YouTube in like 3 parts in like 420p?
So I have not.
Oh,
And I have not and
consider yourself lucky.
you know what is really funny though?
Consider yourself lucky.
That is how Travis Grossman first watched Revenge of the Sith.
That's fantastic. That's the best way of doing it.
Yes, in like 3 little minute chunks. Which I'm sure that means it took him several days to
Probably, yeah.
watch
How
just
funny
the
that we've now
invisible
come full
hand.
circle to that with TikTok, where TikTok's having
All of like the random clips from things
yeah,
to watch
yeah.
devoid of context.
So hey, Mean Girls the musicals on TikTok now. Yeah. Why Mean Girls is the first thing that thought to my head.
I mean, I fuck with Mean Girls. So okay, I think that the official story would like people to believe that the angels are extraterrestrial in nature. I think that makes the most sense to explain away these grotesque monsters that just have like very little to do with what Earth Earth centric evolution looks like. Now we have seen the angels be amphibious in nature, in that we've seen all the angels basically start whatever attack they go on underwater, submersed, and then emerge and then attack.
Mm. Almost like they're referencing Godzilla,
And yeah,
which
and
then goes full circle with Shin Godzilla. How funny.
which then reverse goes circle into biblical stuff with the sea monster and Jonah. Um, so we're going all around. It's like ping ponging around the thing.
It's a
So
spiral.
it is a spiral. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It's the golden ratio, is what it is.
It is Fibonacci sequence. Shout out.
Mm.
So okay, the angels are submersible. So there's an argument to be made that if the second impact is to be believed in the way that it is taught in schools is to be believed, that the angels may have been some type of, for lack of a better term, hollow earth type thing. And that were awakened when the waters flooded and they were like living on the bottom of the ocean or whatever.
Mm.
And because the ocean rises, because Antarctica gets annihilated. Okay. So that checks out. Like I can those
Yeah,
those dots do connect.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're doing so well, Jarod. Doing so
What
well.
thank you. Thank you. You do promise I'm not fully making a fool of myself with this show.
I promise.
Um okay. Now this is where my ears perk up and I start to question things. It's a conspiracy. Um the angel technology of being able to create a again organic living being for combat purposes seems too convenient and too adjacent to the very existence of the angels.
Mm. Yeah.
Which brings me back to my original hypothesis once I figured out that the Avas are living beings, that in an attempt to futz with life, the angels were created, which then gave them the opportunity to understand the angels, create.
So you're saying that the angels are a thing because the Avas were made?
I'm saying that they fucked around with life, created the angels, used that development to then further the
Make
development of the Avas, and whatever calamity happens at some point in that circle
is why we're here right now.
is a disaster that facilitates that type of global devastation.
Hmm.
That they can then chalk up to an asteroid hit Antarctica. Maybe they're studying these things in Antarctica and doing the science, and like it's remote, it's so detached from the rest of the human world that like no one's going to
Yeah.
come knocking and fuck around. And it's convenient that if everything goes to hell, we can blame it on whatever the fuck we want to. It's the United Nations at play.
Almost like a nuclear allegory.
So I think that's where my head is at right now. Did I just deliver like a coherent thought?
I think you did, yeah. I understood it.
Okay.
And if I can understand it, I'm sure other people can as
Okay. Because that's where I'm at. Is that again
Interesting.
like Like either the desire to again like to come up with something like the Avas creates the angels. They figure out how to not fuck it up, but now they need the Avas to combat the angels. Something horrific happens, or it could very well be that like some type of matter or life or being, like perhaps the creepy crawler on the cross, is on that asteroid, or maybe it's not even an asteroid, maybe it's some type of craft, but that being is Adam? No, maybe. Put a pin in that.
This is exactly why I chose this as the season, and exactly why I chose. Like, if anyone's going to get a decent thing out of this, it's going to be Jarod. 100% going to be Jarod. I can just sit back. It's my channel. I own it, but Jared's going to provide me the content.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
I want you to know, again, I keep referencing Ionized Bastards, the Star Wars RPG show I'm in, and I want you to know this is exactly what it looks like right after and right before we record. Is me just like literally like me just muttering to myself like a madman.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
trying to put it together. And
I imagine that's just you. Like you'd never actually stop and like go to sleep. It's just always like a low power muttering state. There's some form of constant conspiratorial thought. It's just it'll be the funniest
low power muttering.
You know.
That is the most devious fucking read of me I've ever heard in my life.
I'm really glad I nearly got the spit take there.
I'm sure the microphone picked up the slurp noise that happened right before.
I heard it. I hope it did. If no one heard that, you missed out. Gonna clip it and put it on OnlyFans. There you go.
Oh Lord. Oh,
you know what? I was also thinking, my computer, do not restart right now. I was like, I want to change the opening to this show, and I wanted like the funniest moment to be the opening, then you go to the intro and the rest of the show.
Like low power muttering.
Yeah, that's I've got to top that every week now.
Yeah,
I need a similar reaction every week.
It's so funny because, like, again, like friend of mine, the friend of my show, friend of many, Alden Diaz, Octo Radio, anytime we
is
can.
He a friend?
When he's not in kayfabe, yeah, which is increasingly less.
Are you saying on the internet that you're friends with Alden Diaz?
Alden Diaz is one of my closest friends, and I love him like a brother.
With Alden Diaz?
With
that guy?
Despite
what you say about him?
Despite what EC kayfabe, what I say about him.
I mean, I don't see any. I assume everything he says about you is justified.
I am bullied on a daily basis in private. I am bullied with career-ending insults. But
your career or theirs?
Who's to say?
That's fair. Yeah.
But because of and for anybody who's not familiar with my work, I've talked about this more times than I can count. I find the world conspiracy nuts to be deeply fascinating. I am an avid listener to the Knowledge Fight podcast, which is like a cataloging and debunking of every single word that's ever fallen out of Alex Jones's mouth. And I followed the Sandy Hook defamation trial very closely and was like updating anybody who would listen to me about it rapidly. You would have thought I was in both Texas and Connecticut past a certain point. I am convinced to this day, like part of the reason why I was not as invested in Andor at first as I wanted to be was because is because shut the fuck up. We're not bringing that onto another show. We're not bringing
No,
this into another show.
no, we're not.
Was sincerely because I was too fixated on what was going on in the trial. Um, all of that to say, Alden has joked with me that he's like, you have let this obsession you have with right wing conspiracy culture corrupt your mind to the point where you are low key pilled yourself and don't realize it.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I mean, fuck you. No, I'm not. I'm so not pilled. I'm
Is
not pilled.
something that someone not pilled would definitely say.
I will, however, concede that there is a
There was a
part of
slight
my
pilling.
brain. There is a part of my brain that is a little bit more active now than it was before. I consumed a lot of InfoWars, mostly
Yeah.
secondhand. Um, and it's something that I've been able to predict things that Michael has done in Ionized Bastards because the conspiratorial part of my brain is a little hyperactive.
That's a very
There's
interesting
a,
flavor of neurospice. That's a very
there's a, it's so not pleasant for anybody. It's
yeah.
Star Wars conspiracies and shirts, man. Like those are like the big
I
three.
take back what I said at the start. There's four parts of your personality. I forgot the shirts.
Yeah, the one time I'm not wearing one, and peek behind the
Actually, the
curtain for
second.
everybody. Peek behind the curtain for everybody. The moment we're done with this, we're recording my X-Men '97 review, wherein I'm going to go change into the X-Men shirt I wore last week that I was supposed to wear for
So
the X-Men
I'm gonna
'97
look like the
review.
filth.
Yeah, you can change if you want to. I
And
just told
I'm
everybody what's
changing.
happening.
I'm not changing.
Um,
God damn.
but
Anyway.
all of that to say, with the amount of times I've been made fun of for being a conspiracy nut, low power muttering. I can't stop laughing. This is so fucking funny. Like people will be like, "Oh, Jarod sounds like Alex. Jarod goes full Pepe Sylvia over everything." Like I've heard those two so often that low. I can't even say it without fucking chuckling. Oh, I that is that. Oh god,
Pathetic.
that is the best insult I've ever had in my life, and there's a lot. People say hate is shit to me all the time. Uh, my last note is simply that Shinji is out of his fucking mind.
And why'd you say that?
This the mut Shinji's low power muttering is why I said that with the like grab the thing, pull the trigger, aim for the center, like whatever. That like he's muttering to himself about how to shoot an Ava as he is or an angel as he
Mm.
is stabbing it in the chest. Like you are no
No, he
longer
is. Yeah,
using a
yeah,
firearm, and it's
yeah,
like aim
yeah.
for the center, pull the trigger, stabby, 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 stabby. Like it's just he came unglued, and watching him sob as he's like murdering this thing, it was absolutely harrowing. Like
It's rough. Yeah, yeah.
I am so, and that was a loop that this show threw me for, or threw me through, is that uh I expected Shinji's arc to be one of developing into a soldier who may be dedicated, not fanatical, but
Yeah.
dedicated. And as I am anticipating, find out that Nerve and the UN have way more to do with the existence of the angels than they have put on, and this might be a false flag, in some way, shape, or form. Never beating the allegations. But that's what I think, and that it would, and that his arc would come to the conclusion of, you've chosen a cause bigger than yourself. You've come so far in that
Mm.
cause. Everything was built on a lie. Finding a new path forward through your dedication. Um, and we skipped all of those steps, went down a different set of stairs to Shinji has just become a kind of insane cold-blooded killer. Like kind of overnight, because this
Mm.
first fight with that angel has clearly damaged him permanently.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly what it is.
But yeah, no, these two episodes were great. Absolutely love them. I love the immediate, how immediate it was that they were like, "Hey, boom, we're there are people involved in this. There is not just, unnamed civilians running away from
Mm,
monsters. There are children who are in danger because of this and must be taken into consideration and whatnot." So yeah, there's a human element here that I'm really loving. This is already the tone is wildly different than what I was anticipating.
yeah,
There's nothing heroic happening. That's what kind of that I think that's one of my big surprises. I was expecting there to be some type of heroism that we would have the rug pulled out from under us on.
yeah, yeah,
That, oh surprise, it's all bullshit. Oh surprise, Nerve created the Avas. Oh surprise, Nerve, the angels are Avas or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was expecting something like that to be the moment where everybody is reeling, but like the main character's psyche has already been shattered, and we're not even like a quarter of the way through.
So imagine
So
how he's gonna feel by the end.
I am sure there. I don't know. You said that, and something in my brain said there's going to be a mass casualty event, like an apocalyptically bad situation. Um,
I mean, you've had at least one.
yeah, I mean, like, to make that look like nothing. But
Mm,
yeah, I'm absolutely loving this show, man, and I'm so happy to go along for this ride,
good.
or for you to take me on this ride, I guess.
I was trying to think of a way how to get Evangelion to sound like Magic Carpet, but my brain weren't working.
But
It never
yeah,
does. It never works when I want it to work.
I was gonna say
So many buttons.
sometimes you simply don't have bars, but low power muttering. If you decide to make merch for this channel, buddy, I know what your first fucking t-shirt's gonna be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, hey, I've got a Photoshop document that I'm no longer using. I might repurpose, but that, but no.
I thought he'd use it. I really liked it. The
Yeah,
Arabesh was
thank you.
phenomenal. The Arabesh in that unused Epic Confrontations logo was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank
It's a
you.
great
I,
touch.
I appreciate it. So, is that the last of your notes?
Yes, it
Have we
is.
brought ourselves to the end?
I think we have. I think we
We have.
have.
Right,
How are you
before we
feel? I know that like you wanted to talk about like you getting to revisit it as just like an element of this.
yeah, I I'm really enjoying it as a week to week. Obviously, we watched two this week, but
Yeah.
it's nice to actually finally get a chance to digest it as you go along.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, I'm on episode 15 in one night. I can't remember what the hell happened an hour ago.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like doing these like the night before, I think that like should schedules allow, like I've been watching these pretty late, just
Yeah,
admittedly. I think that's part of why I will have like a note that I wrote as a joke, or that I
yeah,
wrote to like read in a funny way that I have no context for. Like a lot of my notes are like, like the Adam one, where I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Adam, it's Genesis, a first Ava, first angel, it's the first something. Um, and then there's some that I like want to say jokingly and then elaborate on that I have no idea what the elaboration was. So I'm gonna
Voice record.
try.
Do little voice memos.
I might.
Mm,
So I'm gonna try to watch these a little bit earlier to maybe help with retention a little bit.
mm.
But no, I am really enjoying this, and I do find myself week to week like getting excited um, to watch and jump in and have some time to ruminate.
You've made me happy. That's what I want to hear. That's what I needed to hear.
Oh, that, and I've
Mm.
just accepted the fact that every time someone's like, "Hey, Jared, you want to be a part of this new project?" that the root the root intent is to psychologically shatter me. So that's become everyone's favorite part of Ionized Bastards, at least Michael's favorite part of Ionized Bastards.
Yeah,
Is
but you did take away a man's right to heaven, so
he tried to kill my droid buddy. Fuck around and find out. And sometimes that find out is at the business end of a lightsaber.
even so, even so, you need to stop wobbling.
Hey man, listen, Michael. This man loves to watch because I get to it. The only difference between this and Ionized Bastards is I do go to a more like almost desperately clinging at straws place with Ionized Bastards. That I
Hmm.
will watch Michael just giggle as I
Yeah,
become more and more detached from reality as I speak. So,
I find
I'm,
if I do that, it's just gonna give the game away.
huh?
I think I find if I did that, it would give the game away. No, I can't do that. If I
So,
laugh,
so
it's
you're saying that I will start to pick up on cues and start to piece it together.
I mean, I'd
Fast.
hoped at some point, yeah.
I mean, you've done a great job at. Again, I have no idea how close or far away I am at any moment. Still,
I mean, you could go by previous track record. It's one way of
I've
doing
done pretty good. I have
it.
always been a good predictor. I've always been a good predictor. I think the only big L I have on my record for that was WandaVision because I was firmly in the Mephisto
Yeah,
camp.
yeah. I
But
remember that
like,
one.
yeah, but I cleared Loki season one
Mm,
from the
mm,
jump. I had
mm,
Loki season one figured out.
mm.
What was the one Star
That's
Wars
if
show
we
I
count
like
them
flew
all.
through?
No, it's not really
Okay, it was a version of Kang.
a K.
It was a version of Kang that the MCU has decided is like, our like starter kit Kang. I was on that one. But like I cleared the Force Awakens, cleared the Last Jedi. I'm good at this kind of thing. So this one's I don't have the source material and like the visual language nailed down here. So this is a fun little exercise for me.
Say you are currently watching the source material, which
Oh,
is a
so
rare
this
case of anime first, manga second.
neat. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
We'll talk about the manga at some point, but right now it's like Cowboy Bebop, right? Bebop was the show before.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that,
Yeah, we'll bring this to an end for this week. So, usual stuff like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you're watching along. Let us know what you thought, if you are, or if you haven't, whatever.
and go check out the Nerd Academy podcast and the comic book
Mhm.
cast as well.
Yep, all the good stuff. Mainly here, help this little channel grow.
Oh, for
Help
sure.
me, help me to help you.
Armin can wait. We need to. We need
Man's got
like
500,000 subs. He can.
yeah. The hierarchy of needs is Mitch, Nerd Academy, CBC. It's
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
anything, this is one of the few times trickle down economics has
I
ever
was
worked.
gonna
That
bring
like
trickle down economics up. I
is
was
that
like,
if you
does it
flip it
work?
upside down, it's more like CBC is leading to TNAP, which is leading to to 692. But
So yeah, find out if trickle down economics actually works. This will be the definitive channel to find out. Though I actually looked at my social blade earlier. I shouldn't look at social blade because it's numbers and it's wrong. But it's like in 6 months, it reckons I'll be monetized. I don't believe it, but in 6 months.
I don't even know. I've never even looked at a Nerd Academy social blade.
That is it's more numbers, and if you're like me, you get lost in numbers pretty quick.
No,
Obsess over numbers
too
way too
late.
much.
I'm gonna end the
Jarod,
recording
no,
and
end the recording quick. Come back next week to find out if he's alive. Has Jarod survived the numbers? Is the muttering going to be binary? Hey guys, thanks for watching or listening. Whatever flavor you prefer. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the good stuff so you don't miss an episode. And of course, leave a comment. Tell us what you thought about this episode of Neon Genesis. If you watched it before or you haven't. I generally love to hear what people think about this show. If you're following along with us, that's great. If not, and you watched it before, tell us what you think about this one specific episode in particular, because we are trying to keep Jarod spoiler free as much as possible. And yeah, any help is greatly appreciated for this little channel project we're working on here. We're trying to build this up, and of course we can't do that without you guys. So yeah, any help is greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you all for the next one. So take care.